Okay, guys, this is Renee. I'm going to mute everyone right now. And hopefully we'll be off in about less than 15 minutes. Okay, so as of now, exam 1 is scheduled for 9/23. There are two ways you can register for the exam for my online students. You can either take it in the testing center, which you will go to that first link here, the testing center. Scroll down. Your group is going to be exam 1. That's the exam you're taking. And make sure you know your CRN here. And then it'll give you a list of dates that are available. So you got the 22nd and the 23rd. So as of now, on the 22nd, only 5:30 is available. And on the 23rd, you got 9, 10, 11, and 12. So make sure you go ahead and register sometime today so that you can get the time that you want. If you are unable to get the time that you want here, not a huge deal, then you can use the second option, which is ProctorU, and you'll go through ProctorU.com. This ProctorU does come at a cost, though. I believe it was $17 to $20, just depending on when you register. And you can pick your date and time on those two dates. And the times are a little bit more lenient because you're working with someone else and they're going to be on the other side. In order to do ProctorU, though, FYI, you must have a camera phone. Because what it's going to do is you're basically paying someone to Skype you or watch you during the exam. Right? Does anyone have any questions about the exam? I'm going to unmute you all now. Any questions about the exam? All right. Pardon? All right, I'm going to put mute again. All right, exam 1 is going to be on chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. In each of the courses here, I'm going to go ahead and make this available. Review for test. There is going to be, in everyone's course, there's going to be a chapter 1 review, a chapter 2 review, a chapter 3 review, and a chapter 4 review. All right, these will not count against you, so feel free to do them. Probably the best thing to do with these, though, is to wait until after you've studied. There's no point in doing them now, especially this one here has 30 questions. You will gain much more out of it if you have read chapter 3, done the homework for chapter 3, and then come back out here and done it. All right, so you've got review for test. Those are going to be posted over to the left column. And again, these will sit in Blackboard, but they will not count against you. The grades will not. Review for test. All right, does anybody have a question about the review for test? Any questions? Great. All right, does anybody have any questions about any of the homework problems that they wanted to go over? Any homework problems anyone can think of, or any concepts anyone can think of? In either 1, 2, 3, or 4? All right, sweet. Let me go back. Let me just look. Great, so there you go. And let me just go ahead and open this up in the next class. FYI, if you are on the call and you are on the hybrid class, you cannot use ProctorU for your exam. You're going to have to show up for the Friday class, 11:30 to 12:30. All right, let me go ahead and mute everyone again. All right, and this is review for test. Okay, so as of now, everyone, if you can just check your Blackboard, Everyone should have access to the review for test. If you don't, just shoot me a chat message and I will reopen it. Review for test. All right, so this class does not have the review for tests. All right, so the CRN 12436, I'll go ahead and let Leonie know, and she'll post the review for tests for this. So it'll probably be done no later than 11 o'clock today. For exam 1 through 4 also, don't forget you also have the option of doing adaptive test prep. Let me show you that again. When you go out to homework, all right, guys, there's this more button at the very bottom down here. Make sure that you click that if you don't see it in here, but this is adaptive test prep right here. So you'll hit more and more. Adaptive test prep. The good thing about adaptive test prep, this is the tool that MindTap uses where you can create your own test. So if I wanted to create a test, for example, using chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4, I could tell it to give me, let's say, 16 questions. What is nice about this is that I'll get a question. The question of how a subsidy might impact a U.S. economic output is most closely associated with the study of micro, managerial, macro, or consumer. Let me go micro. If I hit submit and review, what I like about this is when you get a question wrong, it will explain the answer to you. Hold on. It will explain the answer to you, usually with a video. Right? So every single question that you end up getting wrong, the majority of them, will have some sort of video on there where they'll walk through and give you examples of the such and such. All right? So that's one of the good things about adaptive test prep. If you come in and you don't see it listed here, you just hit the more button, and it might be on the second wall. The other option that you have are the note cards, the flashcards. Great tool. And they're usually the vocabulary words after each chapter. You can also create your own cards. Right? Does anyone have any questions then about what is going to be on the exam? Let me unmute you. All right, guys, anyone any questions on what's going to be on the exam? Okay. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is also show you where you can find some videos. So if no one has any questions about any of the homework problems, no one has any questions about the exams, I'll go ahead and let you off. I've already shown you how to walk through the exam or find the exam you want. And what I'll do is I'll also send a link out. There's a guy called ACDC Economics who does a Unit 1 summary. It's about 36 minutes.
It's prepaid, man. I can't even. My prepaid's much better than yours.
All right. Does a whole review. So with the macro Unit 1 summary, I would watch the summary. If you don't understand a specific topic, for example, if you don't understand supply and demand, then I would go back and watch one of his supply and demand videos, right? If I were teaching a class, I would go over all these key points. Or if somebody had a question, I would go over these key points. The other option you have, other than if you're not interested in this, you can also use Khan Academy. K-H-A-N, hold on. Khan Academy has tons of videos. And if you come in here, let's say you're taking microeconomics, click on here, they have a whole page or section dedicated to nothing but microeconomics. All right, so we talk about the introduction to economics, talk about the supply curve, the demand curve, equilibrium, talks about a price elasticity, which we haven't really talked about, consumer plus, debit loss, we're getting into all this, the production possibility frontier curve. It's all the same thing. So I would either look at one of those two videos, and if you have any questions, feel free to post them to the Ask It basket. I'm gonna go ahead and take you off of mute, see if anyone has any other questions, and then we'll just get out of here. More written part of the test for extra credit. All right, for the extra part of the test, it'll just be a question. It'll either be, what happens when the supply curve shifts or graph this, or it might be a PPF problem, one or the other. Or it could be, it'll either be a supply problem, a supply and demand problem, a production possibility frontier, comparative advantage, absolute advantage problem. All right, does anyone have any questions? Let me unmute you all. Anyone have any questions about the exam?
How long should I expect it?
All right, go ahead.
How long should I expect the exam to be?
1 hour.
Okay. Thank you.
Questions?
Is it going to be on computer or Cantron?
It depends. Are you in the hybrid class or are you online?
I'm sorry?
Are you in the hybrid class or are you online?
Online.
Online, and you'll probably you'll take the exam online in Blackboard. And it'll be most similar to those questions that I showed you in the review section. And make sure when you're taking the exam you have a good internet connection. If you don't, take the exam on campus. And I believe the computers in the library there, or the lab, they have cameras that you can use. All right, anyone else? Any questions about how to find the exam, where the exam is? Any questions about any of the homework problems?
The exam's going to be at the testing center, right?
It depends on which class you're in. If you are taking the class online, or are you taking the class hybrid?
It's online.
All right, yep. If you're online, then you'll take it at the testing center, or you'll take it at home and proctor you.
Okay, thank you.
And in the beginning of the video, I show you where to go so that you can make an appointment. So make sure if you're taking the exam at the testing center, guys, make sure you set up your appointment no later than 11 p.m. on Sunday night, or you won't be able to set up an appointment and you'll have to take proctor you. All right, anybody else? Any questions? All right, let me go ahead and get a screenshot of everybody in here. All right, if you are using a phone number that you use different, send me that number. If not, don't worry about it. All right, guys, you're free to hop off.
Right.